Be more than $1 million.
Oh, shucks. There's more.
More than $1 million.
Oh, shucks. There's more than 1,000, I betcha.
But how can we take it with us?
That was Ben talking.
Well, hello there. Welcome to another episode of The Familiars. My name is Joby Earl, and I am the DM. We have found ourselves in, yet again, a very high-stakes situation. I'll get into a recap very shortly, but before we start, I sure would like to introduce the cast. Starting us off, we've got Alex Henriksen. She's playing Rooster, our Dragonborn Barbarian. We've got Captain Chowder, played by Ben Horner, a Warforged Sorcerer. We've got Worthy, played by Annalise Lawson, Tiefling Cleric. We've got Jestán, played by Zach Appleman. He's a half-elf ranger. And we've got Jestán. Also, we've got John. He's playing non-player characters. Look forward to, well, if the characters meet Goo, playing Goo herself. We are The Familiars. Austin Durant is opening a show, Chicago Go See Moulin Rouge, featuring the famed Austin Durant.
Not even featuring, basically starring.
Starring
like
Austin Durant. I mean,
he's amazing.
Effervescent. Effervescent is the word that I choose. But I don't know, guys. Should we just get started with a little bit of a recap?
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it.
Buy our merch, tell a friend, let's go.
My hat. Boom. All right, y'all.
We're all gonna die. Boom.
Last time on The Familiars. The Familiars dove into the water and let the current carry them toward the tree line as the arrows whizzed by them. Thanks to Jestán's cast of Pass Without a Trace, the mists from the rushing water swirled around them, hiding them from the onlooking hobgoblins searching for the group that had invaded Grudd Haug. The party made it to the trees, pulled themselves out of the water, and made their way into the darkness of the woods. When they felt safely out of sight of the watchtower, they stopped and made camp. Everyone quietly went about the business of setting up camp, their minds focused on getting dry and out of the rain. Thibodeaux cast Liamon's tiny hut, and the rain began to pitter-patter on the magical barrier that appeared over their heads. The moment of relief was quickly replaced with the quiet pall of memory. The adrenaline wore off, and the group began to process the loss of their traveling companion, Maxine of the Whispering Ghosts. Jestán took out a tiny wooden figure from his pouch, said a blessing, and threw it into the fire. Rooster went into fixing mode, searching for ways to resolve the simmering tensions. But Worthy was reluctant. Sorry.
Sounds like Alex.
Sounds like Annalise.
Sounds like Joby. Thibodeaux cast Charm Person on Worthy, and Worthy was soon a huddled, sobbing mess of confession, and Thibodeaux noticed that her grip on the bag of holding was approaching White Knuckle. He gently relieved her of her burden, and the party put Worthy to bed, with many folks expressing their disapproval of Thibodeaux's use of magical coercion. Chowder took watch, finding an abandoned arrow roost in a tree close to the camp with a view of Grudd Haug. The night passed without imminent danger, however, as the sun rose over the Star Mount and the high forest to the east, Cap spotted hill giants rousing themselves from their poisoned stupor they had found themselves in, and as well as the leathery wings of a wyvern descending towards Grudd Haug, its rider, the plate-armored hobgoblin they had seen before. After relating the news to the group, the Familiars discussed how they were going to approach Grudd Haug. Worthy confronted Thibodeaux, but Chowder pacified everyone. Jestán suggested a partnership with the Blue Bear tribe. Rooster wondered about the Ice Sheild Orcs. Worthy inquired about the elves of the High Forest, but Chowder came in with a plan. They found agreement on the details and began to make their way back to Grudd Haug as they saw the wyvern and the hobgoblin rider arrive, and the hobgoblin rider walks in to Grudd Haug. Familiars, you are about, I'd say, half mile out, I think is what I said before, from Grudd Haug.
10-minute walk.
About a 10-minute walk.
Okay.
About 10 blocks if you're in New York.
Yeah, 10 short blocks.
Yeah.
All right.
Not avenues.
And
Streets.
let me show you what y'all are looking at. Here we go. We've got the wyvern
Lord.
outside. The hobgoblin warlord has gone inside.
Hobgoblin warlord.
We've got hobgoblins up top here in the watchtower overlooking the barren landscape that surrounds Grudd Haug. Luckily, it's a clear day and you can see fairly far. And we've got a group of Ice Sheild orcs huddled around their campfire with 2 keeping watch.
And that's accurate? There's 7 of them?
Correct. You're seeing 7. We've got the wyvern now huddled, almost strangely like a tamed animal just calmly taking a nap. Its head sort of wrapped around its body. This is what you're looking at. Familiars, what are we doing?
All right, familiars. So to review, I'm gonna go full orc. Thibodeaux, looking a little tired. That's all right. I know you're with us. You are gonna go invisible with a friend. We're gonna tie up the other 2 as prisoners and request an audience with Goo. Now, I'm not a believer, but Worthy, would you mind saying a few words before we attempt such an endeavor to Kelemvor?
Yeah, I can do that. Worthy goes into a prayer that seems a little improvised because this isn't sort of in the standard fare of Kelemvor. Yeah, improvised. I know, Zach. I got Zach. That one. Normally the prayers are like a prayer of passing or funeral rites, and you don't normally ask the god of death to not die, because that's kind of antithetical to his whole thing, but Worthy just mumbles to herself a little bit like, things have been a little weird lately, and, if we die, give us a good death, please, a clean death, and if not, please consider giving us more time on this plane, Lord Kelemvor. There's more we need to do, and wrongs we need to right in your church.
Thank you, Worthy. All right. Anyone need to go before we go? All right, then.
I think I should hand out the oil that I have. Who's going to carry it?
Who's going invisible?
I'll go invisible with the bard. I've got 1 flask of oil myself.
All right, as many as you can. Oh, and Jestán, when we get started here in just a second, do you mind sprinkling a little of that peewat on us?
I wouldn't mind at all. I think that's wise.
Great.
How many flasks of oil?
What?
Peewat, pass without a trace. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's not an official acronym.
No, it's to save time.
It sounded dirty though, okay.
He turns to Worthy. He says, how many flasks do you have?
8.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So,
very nice.
just give half to me, give half to him. Please.
All right, let's soak.
Oh,
we'll
please,
soak that
that's
card.
nice. That's a difference. Worthy divvies up the oil. 4 to Thibodeaux, 4 to Jestán.
great.
Okay, tie me up, Daddy.
All right, we take
What?
He's a father. What?
We're gonna tie up.
His whole thing is he's a father and his children are missing. What is wrong with you? Okay, Daddy. But not
Alright.
too hard.
Okay, well, this is new. This is a new dynamic. All right. I take out the hempen rope and I kind of loop it around Rooster's wrists and give Rooster a kind of a bundle of loose rope to hold on to and continue the line to Worthy. And tie her wrists together, wrap it around, and give her
I
a
look
nice...
at Worthy really quick and I go, don't be scared, I got you.
All right.
Thanks, handbag.
All right.
And I hold up the hand with the ring, and I snap, and suddenly it looks like underneath the synthetic fur, it looks like all these like dogs are like wrestling underneath, like, and eventually all of the fur is ripped off and sucked into the metal exoskeleton, and you see just the exposed bones of Chowder. And then all this like rubbery splooge, like it's like Mission Impossible 3. It goes over the exoskeleton, building an orcish exterior. And then when the process is over, I stand up straight and say, "MAKTAR!"
Yeah!
Great.
Jestán goes ahead and casts Pass Without a Trace, and it applies to all the group, but it's going to be especially helpful for him and Thibodeaux going invisible. He also offers the rest of his little spruce tips in his pouch to anybody in the party who wants it. And he says it's probably going to stink to high hell in there.
Oh, good thinking.
Familiars, you approach Grudd Haug again through this no man's land of cut down trees and mud, rock, and sparse bits of grass. Again, Grudd Haug, the lower level of the den is just lodged between these huge two rocky outcroppings, and the base layer is just a huge 60-foot tall pile of timber, these two rivers spewing out of it, damming the Jestán River behind it. And you are approaching the stockades where these sheep have been kept. And as you approach, you can see through the opening of these two 20-foot tall palisades, there are these 5 crude tents that stand in the middle of this muddy yard. And they're all surrounding a campfire. And there are 5 Ice Sheild orcs in the background, huddled around this campfire. And from your vantage point at a distance, you probably made out somewhere around 80 sheep are being kept in these stockyards. And as you approach, you can hear the sounds of bleats and baas as the sheep themselves are waking up, beginning to eat. And then the smell of not manure, whatever sheep excrement smells like, that smell. And you can see that there's this giant boulder that is moved to the side that you had seen the hill giant sort of move back and forth. It looks gargantuan, probably 30, 40 feet in diameter. And there are 2 orcs standing guard outside of the entrance to these palisades. One is taller and slender, both dressed in sort of mismatching but well-fitting leather armor. The other is shorter, stockier, but both seem to have an intimidating level of athleticism, musculature, and both are wearing swords and let me double check. Oh no. Both are wearing great axes on their hilts.
Sure.
I have one of those.
Taller one is
Take it.
Has it in one hand and is kind of spinning it in midair as their eyes scan the horizon. And they have javelins, what look to be about 5 javelins strapped to their back. Let me show you what you guys are looking at.
Cap, take my great axe.
Oh, okay. Good idea.
Great. Cap,
Yep.
you take Rooster's great axe.
Does that take an action to exchange a weapon?
Yes.
It's a prop.
You know what, you
It's a prop.
You guys are approaching the orcs. What are you doing?
Heil! Step lively, scum! I say to Rooster and Worthy. Heil, Ice Sheild! And I go up to the one that looks most receptive to talking to a fellow orc.
You approach the taller, slenderer of the two orcs. This one has hair that sort of comes down to the side, but you can see that the sides of their head are shaved. And
nice hair.
Thank you, says the orc, and looks you up and down and says, I don't recognize you. Where do you hail from?
I hail from the north, brother. Look, I have prisoners for Goo. They have a gift. But as I approached, I saw that man, that beast in armor, flying in, saying something. What did he say to you? Do I need to dish out some orcish justice?
They both begin to laugh, and the orc you were speaking with says, No, brother. These hobgoblins, they pay good coin, but they think they're better than us. And the shorter orc steps in and says, Yeah, they think that they're in charge of this whole place, but it was our muscle that built the palisade you're looking at.
That's right.
Dam, you see, and the mud structure of Grudd Haug itself.
That's right.
And they both look at the prisoners that are behind you. Say, the taller one looks at you and says, Dragonborn, I see. And what's this, a tiefling? Where did you happen upon such a worthy quarry?
Oh, well, I look over, I just steal a quick glance to Worthy, like,
It's my name.
These were two of the weak, puny ones that caused the ruckus at Grudd Haug last night. I caught them as they were running south about a half mile. I'm gonna bring them to Goo.
Worthy says, Shut up, orc scum. I'm the one that killed your Otyugin giant. Who's weak now?
And I yank on the rope. That's enough out of you! You horned, red, mean guy!
And the shorter one steps in and says, Wait, they killed the Otyug. And the two of them share a look. And look back.
Well, that's what this one said. That's enough out of you two! Both! That's what they say, but who knows? They're probably lying.
Why are you so concerned? Was it your little pet?
Okay, alright. That's enough. You... red horned guy.
Getting dangerously close to a deception check. And you see that the two orcs share a knowing look and look back to you, Chowder.
Yes.
And say, Goo has recovered from the gift from Golden Fields. We think this may improve her mood. She seems to also have recovered her appetite. I suggest you make no delay bringing these to the giantess lord.
I'll head over. Since that hobgoblin's in there, if he tries to get fancy or get all self-important on me, I may send out a signal, ask for backup. Will you keep watch? Look out for that, brothers.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Squee.
There's a 14. And a 13.
Don't be too hasty. We don't like our current employers. But we've seen this hobgoblin in action. They are accomplished.
How many are in there, brother? Just the one. Just in case. Just the one. Okay.
However, it seems that Goo's minions are all afraid of not only Goo, but this warlord of the hobgoblins themselves. Play it cool, boy. Real cool.
All right. I'll do the easy action. All right. Keep your eyes open. Let's go, you two. And I take the prisoners and head towards the door.
Fantastic. The two orcs move aside, and Captain Chowder.
As I pass them, can I just go like?
Absolutely. And Rooster lets out a little growl, and
Not little, but not too big.
yes, Rooster unleashes the
Thank you.
perfectly calibrated growl at
Thank
the
you.
orcs.
Not too scary, but just to know that I have some gumption. You know.
No unleashing.
Make an intimidation check, Rooster.
I'm not doing nothing. It's fine. Sorry, I didn't pull it up. Okay, here we go. I'm glad we're pausing for this. This seems very important, Alex. Good job. Uh-oh.
Nice.
22. As you let loose this growl, you can see that the shorter orc had gone back to their watch, and you startle them. And they legitimately are afraid of you, and immediately try to cover it.
I saw that.
Go back to their watch. You look to the other one, the taller, slenderer one, and you can see their jaw clench a bit and go back to their watch, intimidated. Nice. Jestán and Thibodeaux. There we go. Jestán and Thibodeaux, make a stealth check, I think with advantage, but I want to double check. Go ahead and make one, and we'll see if you make another.
Or is it just like plus 20?
You add 10 to whatever you
You
roll.
had 10.
37?
37.
God, I want to pass without you.
Jestán,
Mine are
I've
coming through.
lost you. I've lost you, Jestán.
I can roll
Did
for
you
you if
hear?
you need to, Thibodeaux.
Squeeze my hand if you're here.
I rolled a 19,
Nice. So 29.
Invisibility.
but let me roll a second one just to see if it.
I think it's just normal.
It crits.
2 19s.
2 19s. Solid rolls to start off the session.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh,
You guys
wow.
make your way up into the stockyards. As you, Chowder and Rooster and Worthy, pass, you can see that the 5 orcs that were huddled around this campfire have a sense of just tired dejection about them. They have placed their armaments just to the side of them. They're still soldiers and warriors, and so the implements of war are never far, but shoulders are hunched, and none of them are really speaking to each other as they all stare into the fire. You keep moving up a muddy trail that leads to a...
As I pass by them, I call out to them, "Suit up, lazy bones! Oh, and in the meantime, here! I found these!" And I toss like 3 of the little boomerangs at them.
Cap.
You toss them out, and
Looks like fun!
Okay.
one of them looks down to the ground and picks up one of the boomerangs, starts sort of spinning it up into the air, and another one picks one up and says, "Oh," and just throws it at the what looks to be towards the entrance to the stockyards, and it starts to circle back, and they catch it, and there's a couple of grunts of approval as you walk by and begin up this muddy trail that climbs up to this cliff that leads to the entrance of Grudd Haug. And again, it's a 40-foot wide open doorway, and parked outside of it is another one of these gargantuan boulders. And
I'm not currently covering it. The
correct.
entrance.
It is open. Okay. And Grudd Haug has these massive red-brown walls that look to be made of mud and clay. And you look up and can see that there are these just massive logs. It looks like the biggest trees themselves were somehow hoisted up to the roof of Grudd Haug, which looks to have its apex about 60 feet above you. And as you approach, you can see around the entrance of this opening are the symbols that Maxine had seen tattooed onto the hill giants. As you make your way in.
Was that the...
Question as I'm turning
Was that the
pages.
squid?
No. That was the... Did you guys... We'll have to check the tape to see if you guys learned what that word meant. But you do recognize them, I'll say. Okay.
Now I'm intimidated, I whisper to Worthy.
I cross the threshold and call out, "Go!"
You enter in to a large cavernous room. And there are oil lamps in iron sconces that are mounted to the thick wooden pillars that support rafters 30 feet from the floor and the roof, which peaks again at about 65 feet overhead. Protruding from the northwest, south, and south walls is a 10-foot wide, 20-foot high wooden ledge. And a wooden ladder climbs up to the ledge. And there are windows that are just a couple of feet above the ledge that let these small shafts of natural light into the hall. And there are 8 sturdy but battered wooden tables that are covered with globs of grease, gnawed bones, empty casks, and scraps of food that stand near the north and south walls, while empty ale barrels lie around and underneath them. Refuse covers the dried mud floor, and in the middle of which are 2 20-foot diameter circular holes, topped with crisscrossing wooden beams held in place by mud and cement. There's a horrible, horrible stench that rises from the holes. And you can hear the distant, you can hear the distant squealing of pigs, alerting you to the fact that you are now over the large cave that you were in before. Now, there are male hill giants slumped against the tables and walls, and they look recovered from poison, but tired.
Exhausted.
Okay. And Chief Goo herself lies at the west end of the hall, slumped atop a 4-wheeled flatbed wagon that bends and creaks under her great bulk. Piled around the wagon are bones and other refuse from Goo's recent meals, as well as the treasure that she has amassed as she shifts her weight. You can hear the wagon axles creaking in pain, barely able, it seems, to hold her up. Before her stands the hobgoblin you saw before, in full plate armor. Their red, the metal is this sort of deep crimson red that contrasts with the bright red of their complexion. They have their black salt and pepper hair tied back into a ponytail as they hold audience with Goo. And that, familiars, is where we are going to pick up next time we are all back together. Let me just show you what you're looking at to give a little bit of just a taste of where we are, familiars. Bringing it up now. Here we go. I can't believe that we finally made it here to Grudd Haug. So happy.
2 months later, we're
we're here in the midst.
Ew, Goo is gross.
Oh.
Familiars.
There's only 2 giants slumped
There
around?
are 3 giants.
no, there's
you
more.
see, as we face off.
You send all of them.
Hey John, can we get a little bit of a Goo laugh to just take us out here?
I smell Dragonborn.
We're so happy that you're with us. Thank you for joining us for this
You got birds on your head, lady.
abbreviated but highly concentrated episode of our show. We're so happy that you're here. Like us, follow us, subscribe to us, tell all of your friends that you just watched the best D&D stream on the internet.
For 30 minutes.
For 30 to 45 minutes, which I mean, come on, who's got the time? You do, because you're here with us. Thank you so much for joining us. And as per usual, our intent is all for y'all's delight. Thanks for watching.